Good morning, everybody. It's Brooke and Peaches with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm. And y'all, I'm here to tell you, there's some strange things happening on this farm. Peaches, do you know anything about what's going on? She just admitted that she doesn't care. Y'all, the events that have panned out today are just a little bit different than what we're used to. It has nothing to do with the goats, nothing to do with Peaches, nothing to do with the donkeys or the geese or the chickens or the peacocks or the turkeys, and the list goes on. It has to do with the cows and the emus. So let me just take y'all through my morning so far. All the babies have been taken care of. Everything has been done, but I am about to go show y'all exactly what I found this morning and why this day is so different than the norm. So I've told y'all time and time again, I come to the barn first thing to feed all the animals, and that includes Moody and Mildred. Well, Moody and Mildred have this big trough back here behind the barn where I feed Moody on one end, Mildred on the other. Works out perfectly. They get along like most husband and wives do. But this morning was a bit different. And before I show y'all a close-up of why this morning was a little bit different, I'm going to kind of do a little reenactment here and see if you can figure out what's going on without me telling you. So here goes. So this morning, I come to feed. I look down in the trough, and lo and behold, there's something different. Right, Moody wants to show y'all his tongue. I'm not so sure that y'all can even see what that is, but that's about the visual that I had. So I start pouring food. Hey, big man. I start pouring food in the trough, and I realize there's something in there that should not be. So I stop pouring food, and I reach my hand through the fence, and I grab it. What is it? What is it that I find in the trough? Are y'all ready for this? This is a cow tooth. So about this time last year, maybe a little bit before, Jason was fortunate enough to find a cow tooth in the bottom of the water trough. And I've got it in my pocket to show you guys as well, if I can get it out here. All right, so I saved Moody's tooth because I don't think it's very common that you find a cow's tooth. Most cows are out in the pasture doing their thing, and if they do lose a tooth in the trough, the farmer's probably not going to even notice it. But I noticed it. Now this was Moody's tooth that he lost about a year ago. That's a pretty big tooth, at least I thought it was. I thought this was a giant tooth. Back into the pocket with that one and back out with this one. So Moody is over the age of 3, not by a lot, but he's over 3. While Mildred's birthday, we calculate to be October the 22nd. So her birthday's coming up, and she's only going to be 2 years old. Now, when Moody lost his tooth, we started doing a little research to find that cows do lose their teeth at about age 2. But this is what is amazing to me. Can y'all see the size of that tooth? I just don't, I mean, you know, we as humans lose teeth, but can you imagine losing something like that without having a string tied around it and your mom or daddy slamming the door to help you get that nagging tooth out? I'm amazed. I'm amazed that I found it, and I'm amazed how big it is. So we're going to do a side-by-side here, be able to show y'all the difference in the 2 teeth, hopefully. I had them in a Ziploc bag, and I don't want to lose them. This is something that I think we ought to hang on to. Don't you, honey? Don't you think that's a good idea to keep these teeth? Maybe make a necklace out of them. All right, so side-by-side comparison. Moody's tooth, Mildred's tooth. You can get the idea of how much bigger the one is that I found this morning versus the one that Moody lost, which we thought was gigantic. Hey, Jessie. Good morning, sweetie. You doing okay? I wonder if you lose your teeth like Mr. Moody and Miss Mildred does. If you and Honey lose your teeth, because Jessie, I know that horses have to have, Jessie, you can't talk, baby. I know that horses have to have their teeth floated, and not so much cows, but are you snorting? You sounded like Gus trying to snore. Oh, I gotta get up. Honey's trying to eat my ear. Oh! So how about y'all? Have y'all ever found a cow tooth? Say you were farmers at a young age, or your parents were farmers. Is that a common thing? Or am I right by thinking that maybe just a little bit of luck if you find a tooth that your cow's lost? That's what I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards it's gonna be a good day, because you don't just find cow teeth. That was the start of my morning, but not in that order, because I walk down the road every morning to go feed. When I don't feel up to it, I use my tricycle, but this morning I walked. And I stopped at the swimming pool, which is what we use to feed the geese and the ducks that are over there in Nugget and Goldie's area. And that's my first stop. So upon doing that, something else caught my eye. And this was just as amazing to me as the tooth being lost, in a whole different manner. You're not gonna find a Nugget or a Goldie tooth, I can assure you. While they do have some serration there, it's not teeth. They don't have chompers like cows do, or even Jessie and Honey, or goats. It's a whole different situation. Oh my goodness. My whole herd's got to come with me. So if you can't tell where I am, I'm headed over to Goldie and Nugget's pasture. And I want to show y'all the nest first and see if there's any eggs, in addition to the one that I found. This would be last Thursday that I found the first egg. Last Thursday evening. What do y'all think? Do you think she laid another egg? Honestly, I have not been back there. I went back there yesterday evening. There was nothing. Oh, here comes Nugget. He's gonna greet me at the gate. Hey, buddy. All right, Nugget. So I was just telling them that you don't have teeth like, come here, like horses and cows do. No chance he's gonna let y'all look inside of his mouth. I thought that might happen, but it's not gonna. So we're headed over to the nest area to take a peek, because like I said, haven't been over here since last night. So in the last video I told you guys that we had decided we were not gonna let Nugget sit, but we did not know what we were gonna do with the eggs. And since then, some thought has happened, and some contact has happened with a friend of mine, and ideas have been floating around, which I'll tell y'all in a minute. But here I am at the nest site. You can see that there's one egg. I'm gonna pick it up because I want y'all to be able to see what I did. You guys suggested that I number the eggs, and that way I would know which one was the oldest, which one was the newest, so if we do decide to gather them, then we can, you know, gather the freshest and at least leave Goldie one so that she knows where the nest is. So I did that. Number one, right on this egg. And that's the only egg in that nest. Now, I did that yesterday. With her only having laid the one egg, Thursday is when she laid it. No egg Friday night, no egg Saturday night. I say night, I mean late afternoon. And then yesterday was Sunday. So with me going by and there not being an egg, I was just thinking maybe she's done. So I come out to feed this morning. Jason and I were out almost to dark working last night over at the barn. So when we came by, we noticed both Goldie and Nugget in their corner spot of the fence where they kind of bed down every night. But now that I think back on it, Goldie was kind of in a weird position, but not so much that it alarmed me or anything like that. I just thought that she was resting. Here's the feed barrel, and here's where I put the feed in the swimming pool. And then you come over, there's Nugget and Goldie's hanging feeder. And from that point, I was able to catch something out of the corner of my eye. And guess what it was? It's an egg, a second egg. This is where she bedded down last night. There's no sticks or leaves or anything indicating that they plan to build a nest here, but this is certainly where the egg dropped. So there's the second strange thing that's happened just this morning. I must say, I could not believe my eyes when I saw that big green egg sitting over where it shouldn't be. So that leads me to wonder if there may be random eggs over the entire pond area. I mean, maybe she's laid more than those two. Maybe she doesn't want Nugget to sit on them. Maybe she knows that her body needs to lay the eggs, but if the baby's hatching that time of the year, they're not going to survive. I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know what their thoughts are, what their intuition is, but our thoughts are we're going to collect the eggs. And I actually got our big cabinet incubator out yesterday. I am a person that doesn't have a lot of patience, but I have a friend who has a whole lot of patience and a whole lot of knowledge when it comes to scientific side of things. That is not my specialty, and I actually have no desire to weigh an egg and to up the humidity if it needs to be upped and lower it if it needs to be lowered, because that's part of the process of incubating and hatching emu eggs. So with that being said, what are my plans? Well, I'm going to show you. So I'm back at the barn where our cabinet incubators are stored, and we haven't used them in quite some time. They are made by GQF. It's an awesome company out of Georgia, and we have hatched many an egg in this cabinet incubator. But here's what I want to share with you guys. So yesterday, after I discussed our potential, what we were going to do, then I decided it was probably time that I go ahead and clean out these incubators. Now they've just been sitting in the barn, so they were dusty on the outside. I wanted to make sure that I sprayed some air inside of them, got any leftover, dust or whatever that may be on the inside of them out. And I started with this one because just my mind told me this was our incubator. So I got finished, and once I got finished, I went to put the hatching trays inside. And the hatching trays are what the eggs actually, let me just show you. So this is a hatching tray, and it's much larger than what you're used to with your styrofoam incubator, because this is designed for a cabinet incubator. Got it all cleaned out. Y'all, Sylvester is in the incubator. Come on, buddy. That's actually the hatcher. And I go to put my hatching trays in here, and there's nowhere for it to sit. And I said, what in the world? We must have took something out the last time we hatched, because this has got to sit in there. It sits and it automatically turns and it rotates the eggs, so it mimics what the daddy emu would do in our case, but it wouldn't go. And then I realized that I'd spent all this time cleaning out this particular cabinet, and it's the hatcher. The hatcher are what the eggs go into when it's just about time for them to hatch. And that way they're no longer in these baskets. They don't turn anymore. They are in a basket. Goodness, buddy. Where there's no chance of them getting hung up, or, you know, they can walk around by the time they hatch. Because after I figured out that I had cleaned out the wrong one, I knew I had to complete my job, so I had to bring the incubator cabinet, which is this. So you don't need to get in there, buddy. So this is our incubator, and again, made by GQF. And a long time ago, I ordered these specific hatching trays. They hatch ostrich eggs, they hatch emu eggs, and they hatch goose eggs. So we have hatched several geese or goose eggs in this particular incubator. But I'm on GQF's website because I did not want to get this information wrong. It will hold 16 emu eggs if you're using 2 trays. So that's what we're doing. We're using 2 trays, and if she lays more than 16, we're in trouble because it will only hold 16. It will only hold 12 ostrich eggs if you're using 2 trays. So that should tell you the difference in an emu egg and an ostrich egg. The length of time to hatch is 60 days, and this particular incubator has a humidity control on the outside, and also you can increase the humidity by adding what they call a wick. This is a pad that goes into the water tray that you can increase the humidity or take it out if you need to lower the humidity. My friend Katherine at G&G Farms is going to get this incubator, and she's going to take on the project of trying to hatch emu eggs. She's going to let y'all follow along. She's going to make videos. She's going to weigh the eggs. She's going to decrease humidity. But we got to get this incubator over to her, get it set up and situated before we start putting eggs in it. All right, it's loaded up and ready to go. So off we go to G&G Farm, right down the road. All right, y'all, here I am with Miss Katherine at G&G. It says so on her hat.
Oh, it does.
It does, it does.
My sister sent me this little gift.
Did she?
Yes,
well, it's cute as can be.
She, I'm looking all beachy today.
I gotcha. Well, let me show you what I got.
Oh, I'm so excited, Brooke. I have been doing some research, and it's going to be kind of like a science project. So I've got this notebook made, and it's like week 1 and the original weight and what it should weigh after week 1, and it goes on all the weeks until hatch time. So got temp and humidity written down.
I told y'all. I'm not the scientist. My friend here, on the other hand, she's a scientist. She likes doing this kind of stuff, or so I feel like she likes to do this kind of stuff. And I think you're going to enjoy, even if they don't hatch, you're going to enjoy the experiment and the process.
My gosh, it's going to be great.
All right.
It'll keep the mind busy. And
so y'all have to go and check out Katherine's channel if you don't already. Katherine, it's letter G and the and symbol and a G again. Farm. Is it with an S or no S?
G&G Farms, yeah.
With an S,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
On YouTube, and she also
I
has
to think about it.
Well, I don't ever know if mine is or not, so I have to ask Jason. But she's going to document everything that she does with the eggs. I'm out of the picture. All I'm going to do is gather the eggs for her and let her do the incubating. So you have to follow along if you want to know what's going on.
And you're going to be in microbiology 101?
No, ma'am, I'm not. I'm just going to hear what's going on from your end. We're going to make this work, though.
Yes.
But the cabinet incubator is going to go inside your house, and you'll have time to get it set up, get it going, maybe get used to it before you put the first egg in. All right, Katherine. So I hope y'all enjoyed what I plan to do with the emu eggs and what Katherine plans to do. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for G&G's update on Golden Nuggets. Y'all be good.